Captain Jake Morrison stood at the window of Earth Defense Station Omega-7, watching the stars. He had been doing this job for 12 years, and nothing ever happened. Earth was a quiet planet in a quiet part of space. The biggest excitement he ever saw was when space junk hit their sensors. "Captain, we're getting some strange readings," said his communications officer, Lieutenant Mike Parker. "Something big is coming our way." Jake turned around and walked to the main console. The screen showed dots moving toward Earth. Lots of dots. More than he had ever seen before. "How big are we talking?" Jake asked. "Sir, these ships are huge, much bigger than anything we have. And there are over 200 of them." Jake felt his stomach drop. Earth had never met aliens before. They had always wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now they had their answer, and it didn't look good. Dr. Lisa Kane was in her lab when the alarm started. She was a scientist who studied the possibility of alien life. She had spent her whole career hoping to meet aliens. Now that it was happening, she was scared. "All staff report to emergency stations," came the voice over the speakers. "This is not a drill." Lisa ran to the command center. When she got there, she saw Captain Morrison and his team staring at the screens. The alien ships were getting closer. "What do they want?" Lisa asked. "We tried to talk to them," Morrison said. "They're not answering." General Rick Stone was in a meeting when his phone rang. He was the head of Earth's military forces. The voice on the phone made his blood turn cold. "Sir, we have a situation. Unknown ships are approaching Earth. They appear to be hostile." Stone dropped his coffee cup. It crashed to the floor. "How many ships?" "Over 200, sir. They'll be here in 6 hours." Stone stood up and looked out the window at the peaceful city below. People were going about their normal day. They had no idea what was coming. "Get the president on the phone. Alert all military bases. This is happening." The alien ships belonged to the Zephyrian Empire. War Commander Vex High stood on the bridge of his flagship, looking at the blue planet. Ahead, to him, Earth looked like any other world they had conquered. Small, weak, divided. "Commander, we're in position," reported his officer. Vex High nodded. "Begin the attack. Target their major cities. Make it quick." The Zephyrians had done this many times before. They would destroy a few cities, and the planet would surrender. It was always the same. The weak species would beg for mercy, and the Zephyrians would take control, but something felt different this time. Vex High had been studying Earth for months. These humans were strange. They fought each other constantly, but they also showed unusual loyalty to their own kind. Still, his orders were clear. "Fire," he commanded. The first blast hit New York City. The beam of energy was so powerful that it turned buildings to dust in seconds. Millions of people died in the first minute. The attack was shown on every screen across the planet. Jake Morrison watched in horror as the reports came in. London was hit next, then Tokyo. The aliens were destroying Earth's biggest cities. "They're not trying to talk," he said. "They're trying to kill us all." Lisa Kane was crying as she watched the news. This was not how first contact was supposed to happen. The aliens were supposed to be peaceful explorers, not killers. "We have to do something," she said. "What can we do?" Morrison asked. "Look at their ships. They're 1,000 years ahead of us." General Stone was in the Situation Room with world leaders. The president was on the screen, along with leaders from every major country. They were all watching the same terrible images. "How many are dead?" the president asked. "Early reports say 50 million, Stone replied, "and they're still attacking." The room was quiet. Everyone knew this was the end of the world as they knew it. But then something unexpected happened. Instead of panic, instead of surrender, something else began to grow. Anger. pure, burning anger. The president spoke first. General Stone, I'm giving you full authority over all military forces. Every soldier, every weapon, everything we have. Sir, we can't fight them. They're too advanced. Maybe we can't win, the president said. But we're going to try. And we're going to make them pay for every human life they took. Similar conversations were happening in every capital city on Earth. The humans were not acting like the other species the Zephyrians had conquered. Instead of fighting each other, they were coming together. Vex High watched from his ship as the humans began to respond. Their military forces were moving, but not in the way he expected. They weren't running away or surrendering. They were organizing. Commander, the humans are mobilizing their entire planet, his officer reported. All of them? Vex High asked. Yes, sir. Every nation, every military force. They're working together. This was not normal. In all of Vex High's conquests, the target species always broke apart under attack. They would blame each other, fight among themselves, and eventually surrender. But these humans were doing the opposite. Send a message to High Command, Vex High said. Tell them the humans are reacting unusually. Request permission to negotiate. Sir, High Command says to proceed with standard occupation protocol. They say all species break eventually. Vex High looked at the blue planet below. Something told him this was going to be different. These humans had something he had never seen before. When they were attacked, they became stronger, not weaker, but orders were orders. He would follow them, even if he had a bad feeling about what would happen next. The war for Earth had begun, and the Zephyrians had no idea what they had just started. 3 days after the attack, the world looked completely different. Lieutenant Amy Foster had been a fighter pilot for the Air Force. Now she was part of something much bigger. Every military unit on Earth was working together for the first time in human history. This is incredible, she said to her wingman, Captain Tom Davis. They were flying over what used to be the border between two countries. Now there were no borders. There was only Earth. I never thought I'd see Americans and Russians working side by side, Tom replied. Amy looked down at the massive construction site below. Where there used to be farmland, humans were building the largest factory complex ever made. They were working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everyone had the same goal: fight back. Professor Dan Kelly hadn't slept in 3 days. He was leading a team of the world's best scientists. They were trying to understand the alien technology from the crashed ships. The power source is unlike anything we've ever seen, he told his team. It's some kind of energy crystal. If we can figure out how it works, we might be able to build our own weapons. Dr. Sarah Martinez, a physicist from Mexico, was examining pieces of alien armor. Look at this, she said. It's strong, but it has weak points. If we hit it just right, it breaks. How did you figure that out? Kelly asked. I used a hammer, she said with a smile. Sometimes the simple approach works best. Commander Beth Turner was in a submarine deep under the ocean. She was no longer hunting enemy ships on the surface. Now she was hunting alien scouts that were searching Earth's oceans. Sonar contact, reported her officer. Alien vessel, 2 miles ahead. They think they're safe underwater, Turner said. They're wrong. Fire torpedo. The torpedo hit the alien scout ship. It exploded in a ball of fire that lit up the dark ocean. Turner smiled. The aliens were learning that humans could fight anywhere. Dr. Lisa Kane was in a new job now. Instead of just studying the possibility of alien life, she was studying actual aliens. She had 3 Zephyrian prisoners who had been captured alive. Why did you attack us? She asked them through a translator device. Your species is weak. One of them replied, You fight each other constantly. You are easy targets. We're not fighting each other now, Lisa said. The alien looked confused. That is impossible. All species break apart when attacked. It is the natural way. Maybe for you, Lisa said. But humans are different. When someone attacks our family, we protect them. Earth is our family. The alien stared at her. This will not last. Your unity will break. All species surrender eventually. Lisa smiled. You don't understand humans at all. General Stone was in the biggest meeting room in the world. Every military leader from every country was there. They were planning something that had never been tried before. The alien ships are powerful, Stone said. But they have one weakness. They think we're primitive. They're not expecting us to fight back with their own technology. How do we get their technology? Asked General Chun from China. We steal it, Stone replied. Every time we shoot down one of their ships, we learn something new. Professor Kelly's team is making progress every day. A Japanese admiral raised his hand. What about their main fleet? They have hundreds of ships up there. We're going to hit them where they don't expect it, Stone said. They think we can't reach space. They're wrong. Amy Foster was chosen for the most dangerous mission ever attempted. She would pilot a new type of spacecraft built from human and alien technology. It was designed to get close to the alien ships without being detected. The ship is experimental. Professor Kelly told her, We're not sure if it will work. Will it fly? Amy asked. Probably. Will it fight? We hope so. Good enough for me. Amy said that the spacecraft was called Hope. It was small and fast, built in a secret facility under a mountain. It looked like nothing the aliens had ever seen because it was half-human design. Half-alien technology. Amy climbed into the pilot's seat. The controls were strange, a mix of human buttons and alien interfaces. But she had trained for this. Every pilot on Earth had volunteered for this mission. She was the one chosen. Earth control to Hope, came the voice in her headset. You are clear for launch. Copy that, Control. Hope is ready. The launch was unlike anything Amy had ever experienced. Instead of the slow climb of human rockets, the alien technology shot her into space in seconds. Within minutes, she was among the stars. Control, this is Hope. I'm in space. The view is beautiful. Copy, Hope. Remember your mission. Get close to their ships. Learn what you can. Come home. Amy flew toward the alien fleet. There were so many ships that they blocked out the stars. Each one was the size of a city. She felt very small and very alone, but she wasn't alone. Down on Earth, every human was counting on her. The families of the 50 million people who had died were counting on her. The children who would inherit this war were counting on her. War. Commander Vexhai was getting reports that worried him. The humans were not acting like any species he had conquered before. Commander, our ground forces report heavy resistance, his officer said. The humans are not surrendering. They're fighting harder than before. What about their cities? Surely. They want to protect their remaining population centers? Sir, they've evacuated their cities. The humans are hiding in small groups everywhere. They're using tactics we've never seen. Vexhai studied the reports. The humans were not fighting like a military. They were fighting like a family protecting their home. Every human, from children to elderly, was part of the war effort. Sir, there's something else, the officer continued. Our technology is being used against us. They're learning to use our own weapons. That's impossible. Their technology is centuries behind ours. See for yourself, sir. The screen showed a human soldier firing an alien weapon at a Zephyrian patrol. The weapon worked perfectly in human hands. Vexhai felt a chill run down his spine. These humans were adapting faster than any species should be able to. They were taking alien technology and making it work for them in ways the Zephyrians had never imagined. Send another message to High Command, he said. Tell them we need to reconsider our approach. Sir, High Command responds that all conquered species show resistance at first. They order us to continue the attack. Vex High looked out at the blue planet below. The humans had turned their entire world into a fortress. Every day, they grew stronger and more dangerous. He had a terrible feeling that High Command was making a very big mistake. Down on Earth, Professor Kelly made a breakthrough. That would change everything. I've figured out how their engines work, he announced to his team. And I think I know how to build better ones. Better? Asked Dr. Martinez. Human better, Kelly said with a grin. We're going to take their technology and improve it. We're going to show them what humans can do when they're really angry. 6 months had passed since the first attack. Lieutenant Amy Foster was no longer flying experimental ships. She was now the captain of Earth's Vengeance, the first human ship designed to hunt aliens in space. Captain, we have a target, reported. Her navigator, Lieutenant Ben Clark. Alien outpost, 12 light years from Earth. Amy looked at the star map. The red dot showed a Zephyrian base that supplied their attack fleet. It was time to show the aliens that humans could fight anywhere. Set course for the target, Amy ordered. It's time to take the fight to them. The ship jumped to faster than light speed. Amy still couldn't believe they had figured out alien technology so quickly. Professor Kelly and his team had done the impossible. They had not only copied alien technology, but made it better. Admiral Sam Parker was commanding the first human space fleet. 12 ships, all built from captured alien technology and human engineering. Each ship was crewed by volunteers who had lost family in the attacks. Remember, we're not here to talk, Parker told his captains over the radio. We're here to send a message. Earth is done being a victim. The fleet approached the alien outpost. It was a large station built on an asteroid. Hundreds of alien ships were docked there, refueling and rearming for their next attack on Earth. All ships, attack. Formation, Parker ordered. Let's show them what happens when you attack the wrong species. Sergeant Tony Martinez was leading the first group of human space marines. They called themselves the Void Rangers. They were trained to fight in the vacuum of space and on alien worlds. Boarding parties ready, Martinez said into his radio. We're going to take that station and everyone in it. The human ships opened fire. Their weapons were a mix of human creativity and alien power. The aliens had never seen anything like them before. Sir, the human weapons are different, reported a Zephyrian officer. They're using our own technology against us, but they've changed it. The station commander watched in shock as human ships moved in ways that shouldn't be possible. They were faster and more agile than anything in the Zephyrian fleet. How are they moving like that? He asked. Unknown, sir. Their technology appears to be more advanced than ours. Dr. Carol Wright was on one of the attack ships, working as a combat medic. She had volunteered to help treat wounded soldiers during the attack. But she was also studying alien biology. Their blood is blue, she reported over the radio. And they don't handle low oxygen well. If we can breach their ships, they'll have trouble breathing. Copy that, Doc, replied Martinez. Void Rangers. You heard her. Breach their hulls and make them breathe vacuum. The human marines used small explosives to blow holes in the alien station. The aliens inside panicked as their air escaped into space. They had never fought an enemy that used such brutal tactics. Commander Beth Turner was leading a stealth mission to plant bombs inside the station's power core. Her team moved through the alien corridors like ghosts. Plant the charges there, she whispered to her demolition expert. We want to take out their entire power grid. The aliens were used to fighting enemies who attacked directly. They didn't know how to deal with humans who used sneaky tactics and guerrilla warfare. The humans are everywhere, reported an alien soldier. They're in our ventilation systems, our power conduits, our storage areas. How did they get inside? They're like parasites, replied his commander. They're using our own station against us. Amy Foster guided her ship through the alien defenses. The enemy was shooting at her, but human ships were smaller and faster than alien vessels. They could dodge attacks that would destroy larger ships. Ben, target their communications array, she ordered. If they can't talk to each other, they can't coordinate their defense. Got it, Captain. Firing. The communications tower exploded in a ball of fire. Suddenly, the alien ships couldn't talk to each other. They started making mistakes, shooting at empty space or hitting their own ships. Major Chris Evans was an intelligence officer who had spent months studying alien tactics. He was now using that knowledge to predict their movements. They always retreat to the same formation, he told Admiral Parker. If we hit them from 3 directions at once, they won't know which way to run. You sure about this, Major? Sir, I've watched them fight for 6 months. They always do the same thing. They're predictable. Parker nodded. All ships execute pattern Delta. Let's see if the Major is right. The human ships attacked from 3 directions at once. Just as Evans predicted, the aliens didn't know how to respond. They had never faced an enemy that understood their tactics so well. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it was over, the alien outpost was destroyed. Every alien ship was either destroyed or captured. Not a single human life was lost. This is Admiral Parker to all ships, came the voice over the radio. Mission accomplished. Earth's vengeance has been delivered. But the humans weren't done. This was just the first attack. Intelligence reports showed dozens of alien outposts throughout the galaxy. Each one would be destroyed. War Commander Vex High received the report about the destroyed outpost. He read it 3 times, unable to believe what he was seeing. How did they reach Outpost 7? He asked his officer. That's 12 light years from Earth. Sir, it appears the humans have developed faster than light travel. That's impossible. Their technology was primitive 6 months ago. Sir, perhaps it's time to reconsider our approach. These humans are not like other species we've conquered. Vex High stood at the window of his ship, looking out at the stars. Somewhere out there, human ships were hunting his people. First time in his military career, he was afraid. Send a message to High Command, he said. Tell them we need reinforcements, many reinforcements. Captain Jake Morrison was back on Earth, coordinating the defense of the planet. He was watching reports from the attack on the alien outpost. They did it, he said to Dr. Lisa Kane. They actually did it. Humans are fighting in space. It's not just fighting, Lisa replied. They're winning. The aliens are learning that humans are not easy prey. What do you think will happen next? Lisa looked at the star charts showing known alien positions. Red dots marked enemy bases throughout the galaxy. The aliens will try to regroup, she said. They'll bring more ships, more weapons. They think they can overwhelm us with numbers. Can they? Lisa smiled. They still don't understand humans. Every attack makes us stronger. Every battle teaches us something new. They're not fighting a primitive species anymore. They're fighting Earth, and Earth is angry. Professor Kelly was already working on the next generation of human spacecraft. The ships that had attacked the alien outpost were just the beginning. We can build bigger ships, he told his team. Faster ships. Ships that can carry more weapons and more soldiers. How many can we build? Asked Dr. Martinez. As many as we need. The entire planet is working for this war effort. Every factory, every worker, every scientist. We're not just building ships. We're building an army. Amy Foster returned to Earth. As a hero, she had led the first successful human attack against an alien target. But she wasn't celebrating. She was already planning the next mission. "There are more outposts out there," she told Admiral Parker. "More alien bases that need to be destroyed. How many ships do you need?" "All of them. We're not just fighting for Earth anymore. We're fighting for every species the aliens have. Conquered. We're going to free them all." The Zephyrian Empire had made a fatal mistake. They thought they were attacking a weak, divided species. Instead, they had awakened something they didn't understand. They had awakened humanity's rage. And that rage was about to spread across the galaxy. Admiral Sam Parker stood on the bridge of his flagship, Earth's Fury, looking at the massive alien homeworld ahead. After 8 months of hunting alien outposts across the galaxy, the human fleet had finally reached the heart of the Zephyrian Empire. "Captain Brooks, are you ready?" Parker asked over the radio. "Yes, sir," replied Captain Steve Brooks from his experimental ship, Retribution. "All weapons systems are online. The new human-designed weapons are ready to test." Parker nodded. The humans had spent months perfecting their technology. Engineer Paula Davis had created weapons that combined human creativity with alien power sources. The result was something the galaxy had never seen before. "Dr. Wright, open a channel to the alien planet," Parker ordered. Dr. Carol Wright, now serving as the fleet's diplomatic officer, activated the communication system. Her voice was broadcast across every frequency in the alien system. "This is Dr. Carol Wright of the Terran Fleet," she said. "We represent the planet Earth and all the species you have conquered. We demand the complete withdrawal of all Zephyrian forces from our worlds and full reparations for the unprovoked attack on Earth. You have 24 hours to respond." The message was clear and simple. The humans were not asking for negotiation. They were delivering an ultimatum. On the surface of the Zephyrian home world, High Command received the message with shock. These primitive humans had somehow crossed the galaxy and were now threatening the heart of their empire. "How many ships do they have?" asked Supreme Commander Zor Thek. 47 vessels, sir," replied his aide. "Much smaller than our fleet." "And how many ships do we have?" "Over 300, sir. Plus the planetary defense system." Zorthik felt confident. "Send a message to the humans. Tell them to surrender immediately or face total destruction." Major Chris Evans was monitoring alien communications from his intelligence ship. He had learned to understand their language and their thinking patterns. "Admiral, they're not going to surrender," he reported. "They're mobilizing their entire fleet. They think they can overwhelm us with numbers." "How many ships are they bringing?" Parker asked. "All of them, sir. Every ship in their empire is heading our way." Parker smiled grimly. "Good. We can finish this war in one battle." Engineer Paula Davis was making final adjustments to the new weapon systems. She had created something that even she wasn't sure would work. But if it did, it would change the course of the war. "Captain Brooks, the new quantum disruptors are ready," she reported. "But I have to warn you, we've never tested them in actual combat." "What do they do?" Brooks asked. "They turn the enemy's own energy against them. The more powerful their shields, the more damage they'll take. And if it doesn't work, then we'll have to fall back on conventional weapons. But if it does work, this battle will be over very quickly." The alien fleet arrived like a dark cloud, blocking out the stars. 300 ships, each one larger than the biggest human vessel. They formed a massive battle line and began advancing toward the human fleet. "All human ships, this is Admiral Parker," pinned the voice over the radio. "Remember why we're here. Remember the 50 million people who died in the first attack. Remember that we're not just fighting for Earth. We're fighting for everyone the aliens have hurt." Amy Foster was commanding a squadron of 12 ships. She looked at the massive alien fleet and felt the same determination she had felt during her first mission, "This is it," she said to her crew. "This is where we show them what happens when you attack the wrong species." The battle began with the aliens firing first. Thousands of energy beams shot across space toward the human ships. But the humans had learned from 8 months of fighting. They were no longer the same species that had been surprised by the first. "Attack! All ships, evasive maneuvers," Parker ordered. "Let's show them how humans dance." The human ships moved like they were alive. They twisted and turned through the alien fire, avoiding most of the attacks. When they were hit, they improved. Shields held firm. "Return fire," Parker commanded. "All weapons, all targets." The human ships unleashed their new weapons. The quantum disruptors hit the alien shields and did exactly what Engineer Davis had hoped. The aliens' own energy was turned against them, tearing their ships apart from the inside. "Impossible," said Supreme Commander Zorthik as he watched human weapons destroy ship after ship. "How are they doing this?" "Sir, their weapons are using our own power against us," reported his officer. "The stronger our shields, the more damage." "We take." Captain Brooks smiled as he watched his new weapons work. "Paula, you're a genius. The quantum disruptors are working perfectly. Just remember to thank me when we get home," Davis replied over the radio, but the aliens had one more trick. They began ramming their damaged ships into the human vessels, hoping to take them down through sheer force. "They're trying to ram us," reported one of the human captains. "What do? "We show them what human determination looks like," replied Major Evans. "All ships, prepare for close combat." The humans had trained for this. They knew that aliens who were losing would become desperate. Instead of running away, the human ships flew directly at the ramming vessels. "Fire everything," ordered Amy Foster. "Don't give them a chance to hit us." The space battle became a close-range fight. Human ships and alien vessels fired at each, other from point-blank range. The humans had smaller ships, but they were faster and more agile. Sergeant Tony Martinez was leading a boarding party onto a damaged alien ship. His Void Rangers had become legendary for their ability to fight in any environment. "Rangers, let's go," he said as his team broke through the alien hull. "Time to show them what humans can do up close." The aliens inside the ship had never faced human soldiers in person. The Rangers moved through the corridors like trained killers, their weapons designed specifically to fight in alien environments. "They're everywhere," reported an alien soldier. "They're in our command center, our engine room, our weapon systems." The alien ship surrendered within minutes. The Rangers had taken control of the entire vessel without losing a single person. The battle lasted 12 hours. When it was over, the alien fleet was destroyed. Of the 300 ships that had attacked, only 30 remained. The human fleet had lost only 5 ships. "This is Admiral Parker. To all remaining alien vessels," came the voice over the radio. "You fought bravely, but you lost. Surrender now, and we will treat you with respect." Supreme Commander Zorthik sat in his damaged command ship, looking at the wreckage of his fleet. He had never seen anything like the human fighting style. They fought with a combination of advanced technology and pure determination that was impossible to defeat. "Sir, what are your orders?" asked his aide. Zorthik looked at the human ships. They were small, but they had just destroyed the most powerful fleet in the galaxy. He realized that the Zephyrian Empire was finished. "Signal surrender," he said. Quietly, "It's over." Dr. Wright received the surrender message with relief. The war was finally ending. But she knew this was just the beginning of something much bigger. "Admiral, they're surrendering," she reported. "The war is over." "No," Parker replied. "The war is over, but our work is just beginning. We have to help all the species they conquered. We have to build something better." Captain Brooks looked out at the alien homeworld. The planet was beautiful, with blue oceans and green continents. It looked a lot like Earth. "What happens now?" he asked. "Now we show them what humans are really." "Like," Parker said, "we show them that we can be generous in victory. But we also make sure they never forget what happens when someone attacks our family." The Battle of Zephoria was over. The humans had won not just through superior technology, but through something the aliens had never understood: the willingness to fight for each other no matter what the cost. The galaxy was about to learn that Earth was no longer a victim. Earth was now a protector. And anyone who threatened innocent people would face the full fury of an angry human race. 2 years after the Battle of Zephoria, President Helen Murphy stood at the podium in the newly built Terran Federation Hall. Representatives from 37 different alien species sat in the audience, all of them former slaves of the Zephyrine Empire. "Today marks a new beginning," President Murphy said. "Not just for Earth, but for all free peoples of the galaxy. The Terran Federation promises to protect those who cannot protect themselves." In the back of the hall, Admiral Jake Morrison watched the ceremony with pride. The former defense station captain was now commanding Earth's interstellar defense network. His hair had turned gray during the war, but his eyes still held the determination that had carried humanity through its darkest hour. "Hard to believe, isn't it?" said Dr. Lisa Kane, who was now serving as Earth's first xenocultural advisor. 2 years ago, we didn't even know aliens existed. Now we're running half the galaxy, Morrison replied with a smile. The Terran Federation had grown quickly after the war. The humans had kept their promise to free all the conquered worlds. But instead of simply liberating them and leaving, Earth had offered something better: protection and partnership. Captain Steve Brooks was leading a patrol mission in the former Zephyrian territory. His ship, Retribution, was now one of 50 human vessels keeping peace in the galaxy. "Captain, we're receiving a distress signal," reported his communications officer. "What's the situation?" "Pirates are attacking a cargo ship near the Andorian system. The ship is carrying medical supplies to a colony world." Brooks didn't hesitate. Set course for the Andorian system. Maximum speed. This was the new reality. Human ships patrolled the galaxy, protecting trade routes and stopping criminals. The former Zephyrian Empire had become a much safer place. Under human protection, engineer Paula Davis was working on the next generation of human spacecraft. Her designs were now being used by allied species throughout the galaxy. "The new engines are ready for testing," she told her team. "They're twice as fast as anything we had during the war." "What about weapons?" asked her assistant. "We're focusing on defensive systems now," Davis replied. "We've proven we can fight. Now we need to prove we can protect." Ambassador Nick Taylor was meeting with leaders from the Altarian Republic, a species that had been conquered by the Zephyrians 50 years earlier. They were discussing joining the Terran Federation. "We've heard stories about human warfare," said the Altarian leader. "You destroyed the Zephyrian Empire in less than a year. Are you conquerors like they were?" Taylor shook his head. "We're protectors. We fight only when peaceful solutions fail. But when we do fight, we fight to win. And if we join your federation, then you'll have the protection of the human fleet and the friendship of 37 allied worlds. You'll be part of something bigger than any single species." The Altarian leader considered this. "What do you ask in return?" "Help us make the galaxy a better place. Share your knowledge, your culture, your wisdom. Together, we can build something that will last." Major Chris Evans was running a training program for young humans who wanted to serve in the Terran Defense Force. The program was held on a space station orbiting Earth. "Remember," he told his students, "we're not here to conquer anyone. We're here to protect the innocent and stop bullies. The galaxy is full of species that need our help." One of the students raised her hand. Major, what if someone attacks Earth again? Evans smiled grimly. Then they'll learn the same lesson the Zephyrians learned. You don't attack the human family and expect to survive. Dr. Carol Wright was working in a medical facility on the former Zephyrian homeworld. She was treating both human soldiers and former Zephyrian civilians who had been injured during the war. Doctor, why are you helping us? Asked a young Zephyrian. Patient, we attacked your world. We killed your people. Wright looked at the alien child with compassion. Because that's what humans do. We protect those who can't protect themselves, even if they used to be our enemies. The child stared at her with wide eyes. You're not like what our leaders told us humans were like. What did they tell you? They said humans were savage and cruel. They said you would destroy us all. Wright smiled. We can be savage when we need to be, but we prefer to heal rather than hurt. That's the difference between humans and the Zephyrian. Empire. Amy Foster was now an admiral, commanding her own fleet. She was leading a mission to explore new parts of the galaxy, looking for species that might need help. Admiral, we're detecting signals from an unknown system, reported her science officer. What kind of signals? They appear to be distress. Calls. There's a war happening in that system. Foster felt the familiar fire in her chest. Somewhere out there, innocent people were suffering, and humans had the power to help them. Set course for the unknown system, she ordered. Let's go see who needs our help. This was the new human mission. They no longer waited for threats to come to them. They actively searched for people who needed protection. Sergeant Tony Martinez was training alien soldiers in human combat techniques. His students were volunteers from species that had been freed from Zephyrian rule. The key to human tactics, he told them, is adaptability. We don't just use our weapons. We use everything around us as a weapon. But humans seem so small compared to other species, said one of his students, a large reptilian alien. Size doesn't matter, Martinez replied. Determination matters. When a human decides to fight, we don't give up until we win or die trying. He showed them videos from the war against the Zephyrians. The alien students watched in amazement as small human ships defeated much larger alien vessels. You see, Martinez explained, the Zephyrians thought they were fighting our ships, but they were really fighting our spirit. And human spirit is impossible to defeat. Supreme Commander Zorthik was living on Earth now, working as an advisor to the Terran Federation. He was helping human leaders understand alien cultures and politics. You could have killed us all, he said to Admiral Morrison during one of their meetings. Why didn't you? Morrison looked out the window at the peaceful city below. Because that's not who we are. We fight to protect, not to destroy. But we killed 50 million of your people. Yes, you did. And we'll never forget that. But we also won't become monsters because of it. We'll be better than you were. Zorthik nodded slowly. He was beginning to understand why the humans had won the war. They fought not with hatred, but with love for their own people and compassion. For others, Professor Dan Kelly was working on his greatest project yet, a school system that would educate children from dozens of different species. Human children would learn alongside alien children, creating friendships that would last for generations. This is our real victory, he told Dr. Martinez, who was helping design the curriculum. Not the war we won, but the peace we can build. Do you think it will work? She asked. Look at what humans accomplished when we were united, Kelly replied. Imagine what we can accomplish when we unite the galaxy. The first graduating class included children from 20 different species. They had learned not just science and mathematics, but also the human values of cooperation, protection of the innocent, and standing up to bullies. President Murphy was preparing to give her final speech before stepping down from office. She had led humanity through the war and the first years of peace. Now it was time for someone else to lead. "My fellow humans, and our galactic allies," she said to the assembled crowd. When the Zephyrians attacked Earth, they thought they were conquering a weak, divided species. Instead, they awakened something they didn't understand. The crowd was silent, listening to every word. They awakened the human spirit. The spirit that says we protect our family, no matter what. The spirit that says we never give up, no matter how hard the fight. The spirit that says we help those who can't help themselves. She paused, looking out at the faces in the audience, humans and aliens sitting side by side. The Zephyrians are gone, but their lesson remains. The galaxy now knows that Earth is not a victim. Earth is a protector. And anyone who threatens innocent people, anywhere in the galaxy, will face the full power of the human race and our allies. Admiral Morrison sat in his office, looking at a star map that showed the current state of the galaxy. Green dots marked human patrol routes. Blue dots showed allied worlds. There were no red dots left, no hostile empires threatening innocent people. But Morrison knew this peace wouldn't last forever. Somewhere out there, other threats were waiting. Other bullies who thought they could prey on the weak. "Let them come," he said quietly to himself. "Earth is ready." Amy Foster's exploration. Fleet had found the source of the distress signals. A peaceful species was being attacked by raiders who were trying to enslave them. "This is Admiral Foster of the Terran Federation Fleet," she broadcast to the raiders. "You will stop your attack immediately and leave this system." "Who are you to give us orders?" replied the raider leader. "We're humans," Foster said simply. "And humans don't like bullies." The raiders had heard stories about what happened to the Zephyrian Empire. They left the system without firing another shot. Foster smiled as she watched the raider ships disappear into hyperspace. "Another day, another species saved," she said to her crew. This was the new galaxy. A place where the strong protected the weak, where bullies faced consequences, and where a small,